Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen of Phelan Studio. Today this is a 15-minute body weight glute and core class that's borrowed from the holiday challenge that we did on Phelan Studio at the end of 2021. But you can do it at any time. It feels really good. It's my favorite glute sequence actually because it also frees up your hip flexors, which we can never get enough of. And then we sneak in some extra core right at the end. You don't need any equipment, but if you want to throw on some ankle weights for a little extra spice, you are welcome to. And if you like this class, I'd love if you like, subscribe, comment, and send it to a friend who loves Pilates. I'll see you on the mat. Welcome back to Phelan Studio and to our holiday challenge. Today we're doing a lower body focus and we'll start on our hands and knees. If you like, you could throw some ankle weights on for this, totally optional. I'm gonna pass on that today, but if you want, that option is there for you. Roll your shoulders back, around, and down a few times, really opening up at the chest and waking up those postural muscles. Give yourself a little scapula push-up about 3 times to accomplish that very same thing. And then lift up, stay lifted. I want you to take your left foot, flex at that foot. You exhale, push through the air to lift that leg up through a bent knee, and inhale, set it back down. I do not want you to shift your weight to the right, so really press through that left side to help keep your weight centered over your pubic bone. Exhale as you lift, and inhale as you lower. Our goal here is opening up at the front of our left hip flexors while strengthening into the left glutes, so multitasking. Hugging the abs in as you lift the leg up not only engages your core, important, but protects your back, even more important. Pressing the back of your head up to the sky, so you're not letting your head fall heavy, lifted nice and tall. It's 3, 2, press through your knuckles instead of through your wrists, and 1, keep that leg lifted. Now, make that a smaller variation. Exhale as you lift up. Exhale as you lift up. Make sure that you're not arching your back as you do that. So keep that small and controlled. If you've been traveling a lot or you plan on traveling, this is a really great one to keep your hips really happy. Lots of mobility in today's class as well as strength. I think it's a pretty great mix of both. It's 3, 2, and 1. Now keep that leg up there. Point your toes, reach the leg back. You probably have an instinct to turn your leg and your hip out like I just did. So try to spiral that kneecap towards the ground. And hamstring curl, pull the foot back towards your butt. Reach it back out. Pull it in and reach it out. Now I want it to be like I'm standing behind you, trying to yank on your ankle, and you're trying to pull your leg that direction. So that's how much resistance I want. Pulling against someone trying to yank your leg in the opposite direction rather than bouncing it in and out. It's a totally different feeling when we add that attention behind the movement. Heavy through those hamstrings. Try to keep that leg right around hip height and try to keep both of your hips square to the floor. It's 4, 3, 2, oh my goodness. 1, keep that leg extended. Once again, you're gonna go little pulses. Kneecap is facing the ground. Can you lift your chest even taller? It's small, it's controlled. Really squeezing into your butt as you pulse it up. And you don't want this to be bouncy in the slightest. For 3, 2, and 1, set those toes on the ground with a flexed foot. Very last thing here, we can complete that full range of motion. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Try to stretch out through the back of the leg as you lift it up. Really squeezing that gluteal fold, that spot where your butt becomes your hamstring. I know this is actually a full body exercise. The shoulders are tired, the abs are tired. Keep breathing, press through those fingertips and knuckles, soften through your elbows. Try to keep those arms externally rotated. It's 2, super straight at the knee, and 1. Woo. Set it back, sit on your butt, give your chest a little stretch. I know that sometimes that all 4s work can be a little tight. You're actually gonna lay all the way face down. We'll do that second side in just a moment. You're gonna lay face down, and you're gonna set up a pillow for your hands by placing your hands right underneath your forehead. Now drop those shoulders away from your ears and try to press your fingertips, your pubic bone, into the floor so that your low back lengthens. My legs are super straight. As you can see, that's making my knees peel off the floor here before I even do anything with my legs. Squeezing into the glutes. You're gonna exhale, float those legs up. It's small, and inhale, take it back down. So I want you to keep it that small and be very mindful of not whacking into your low back. We'll do that a few more times. So this is really working the same muscles that we did on all fours. It's just a little bit more restricted because the floor is preventing us from arching our back too much. When we're on all fours, we have a little bit more leeway, which is why I was really on you about connecting to your abs. If we start to arch our back here, there's nowhere for us to go. We just kind of rock into the ground, but it can still bother your low back if you do that. So think about suctioning your belly button away from the floor. Doesn't mean it'll not touch the floor, mine is touching the floor, but that energy of hugging up and away is happening to help you keep your core engaged. Let's take for 3, 2, really squeezing through those glutes. 1, keep those legs lifted. Try to straighten through your knees a bit, soften those shoulders, separate your legs as wide as the mat, and then squeeze them back together. Open wide and squeeze it shut. If your back bothers you, when you bring your legs all the way together, stop at hip width. So then you'll go mat width to hip width instead. Make it work for your body. Just remember to keep pressing your hips through the floor, especially your pubic bone, so we feel that length and stability in the low back. Really squeezing through those inner thighs. Engage and lift through your pelvic floor as you bring the thighs center. Inhale, soften the pelvic floor as you widen for 5. Really strong posterior chain, really strong back body. It's 3, 2, and 1. Keep those legs up in the air. Point the heels together, the toes apart. Squeeze the heels, squeeze the heels, squeeze the heels. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze that pelvic floor as your heels come together. Little beats for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, rest it down. Wiggle those hips side to side. That one is such a deceptive one. It looks like it's so easy, but give yourself a second to recover by shaking those hips side to side. And then push it all the way back up to your all fours. Let's get into that side 2. So we're gonna go into our right leg. Strong shoulders, lift your chest up nice and tall. Point those elbows back towards your toes, keep the elbows soft. And we start with our leg lift, pushing the ceiling away, and inhale, setting it back down. Exhale, leg lift up. Inhale, knee comes down. Breathe out through the mouth, in through the nose. Try to minimize any weight shift from right to left. Keep your hips centered over that pubic bone. Obviously, our balance gets a little trickier when we remove our foot from the floor. So that's when we can add a little extra pressure with our right hand. Make sure you're squeezing your right butt cheek each time that leg lifts up. Remember, your goal is this nice, yummy hip stretch. Which, like I said, if you've been stuck in a car or a plane, or even just watching a lot of Netflix on the couch, those hips can get sticky. So take your time with it. Exhaling as you lift. Inhaling as you lower. Last 2, we're going to turn that into a pulse. I'm going to keep my foot flexed. And then 1, I like to flex my foot because I want this to feel like I'm pushing the ceiling away, and I find that flexing my foot helps me accomplish that, get that embodied, that sensation. Hugging the abs in. Can you pick your abs up each time you pick the leg up? So you're feeling a cinch and a cinch and a cinch. Soften your elbows. Can you open your chest a bit? Focus at the front of your mat. It's 5. Parallel through that leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it up there. Stretch it out. Now, hamstring curl. foot to butt. Inhale, reach it out behind you. Exhale, foot to butt. Inhale, reach it out behind you. Remember, pull that leg in like someone's behind you trying to pull your ankle back that direction, and you're fighting it to send it that direction so that you have lots of resistance. Even if you're like me and you opted for no ankle weight today, ankle weight, schmankle weight, right? You don't need it. Using your imagination. Inhaling out, exhaling in. If you did opt to use an ankle weight, well then you're just having extra fun. Enjoy that sensation building up, that feeling of getting stronger. Last two. Last one, point through your toes, long leg. Now give me little pulses. Stretching out through the toes as you're lifting up. Can you lift up taller around the armpits? Don't let your upper body start to sink down. Full body move. Parallel through the leg, kneecap and toes facing the ground. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. Send the toes to the ground. Little finale here for the leg. Exhale, lift it up, full range. Big squeeze at the butt. Tap it back down. Exhale, reach it up. Inhale, send it back down. If you are feeling really tension, a lot of tension, really tension in your wrists, you can also come to your knuckles, or you could bring it back down here to the forearms, whatever feels best on your body. Just don't hold your breath. That's my rule. We're here for 4. Really squeeze into that glute each time you lift. 3, 2, and 1. Big stretch out through that leg. Set it down. Sit it back. Open up at that chest. Now, this is a lower body class, but I am going to give you just a little quick core bonus. So you're going to flip onto your back, take your legs up to your tabletop position, hands are behind the head, drop your head into your hands. Really actively press your head into your hands before curling all the way up at your head and chest, and inhaling to lower it back down. Exhale, big curl up, gaze in at your belly button, inhale back down. For 3, get a nice deep curl each time. 2, shoulder blades leaving the ground. 1, come on up, stay. Extend your legs to the sky. They do not have to be locked straight, but just extending them up. And you're going to point your toes to lower the legs down about halfway and flex your feet to lift them back up to the sky for that hamstring stretch. So this is a core exercise, yes, but I'm also using it to help you stretch out the backs of your legs because of everything that we just did. If this is stressing out your back, I want you to make this smaller. Don't go down as low, or take it to just 1 leg at a time, so that I'm just watching my plant there, so that you're able to keep your back stable and we don't feel that taking over. This should feel intense on your low abs and really lovely on the hamstrings. Maybe you curl up even deeper at the top. Try to keep those shoulder blades off the ground. Let's go 2. And 1. I'm just going to scoot back a little bit so I don't hurt that plant. And you're going to lower those legs to a spot that you can maintain. Let's stay parallel, go as wide as your mat, squeeze it together. Wide as your mat, squeeze it together. Just like we did laying on our stomach. 5. 4, bring those legs higher for more support. Don't let your back arch. 2. 1, hug it in. We have 1 more little layer of that. We're going to do our little clicking heel beats. So gather yourself. Get excited. Curl all the way up. Legs up to the sky. Lower them down to a spot you can sustain. Heels together, toes apart. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Maybe a little lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it down. Oh my goodness. Come on up. Find a butterfly, not a butterfly, a crisscross. So my right leg is in front of my left here. I'm just gonna walk it out. I feel my right hip getting a deeper stretch. Take a few deep breaths here, really stretching through those side hips. Walk it back up and in. Change out the cross of those legs. Sit up super tall. Walk the left arm out, walking all the way forward. Resting down, feeling that stretch in the left hip. And then slowly make your way all the way back up to seated. And that's our quick lower body plus some bonus core. Hope you're feeling strong. Like I said, I definitely recommend doing that one before or after some traveling, if that's what you have on deck. And I want to know what's coming up for you when you take class. So if anything came up, any thoughts arose as you were working out, or even just questions about the movements that we're doing, please comment below or find me over in our group, and I will see you tomorrow.